Well, good morning, everybody. We'll start today on in our comfortable seated position, finding those sitting bones, rooting in to our mats, into the earth, and then just begin to grow from there, lifting from the top of our head. We'll close our eyes, take a few deep breaths in through our nose, and then out through our mouths. Begin to bring that focus inward. So that we can connect with ourselves, so we can listen more acutely to our bodies, so that we can give it what it needs today. And then we can open up our eyes, seal our lips, inhaling and exhaling through our nose. And as we inhale, we'll lift our nose up toward the sky. Exhale, drop the shoulders, and then lower the chin down to our chest. And then inhale, gently lifting our nose. And then exhaling, lowering the chin. And let's just let the head hang here. Opening up the back of our neck. Feel the shoulders relax with our breath. And then keeping our chin close to our chest, we'll just move it over toward one shoulder. And then we'll slowly bring it down to the center again. And then over to the other shoulder. And then back to the center. And then with our breath, exhale over to one side. Inhale back to the center. And then exhale over to the other side. And again, inhaling to the center. Exhaling to the side. Do one more time to each side. And then we'll meet back in the center. Let the head hang. And we can even use our fingers to gently help the head back up to neutral. Good. Let's inhale, lift the hands up nice and high. Exhale, bring them back behind us. Open up the chest. And then let's bring them around, give ourselves a hug. Grab our shoulders if we would like, help them down away from our necks. Good, and then inhale up again. Exhaling around, open up the chest, drop the shoulders, lift the heart. And now, as we come around, let's cross the arms in the other direction. Give ourselves a hug. Open up the shoulders behind us. Lengthen in the neck. Good. And then inhale, lifting the hands up high. And this time, exhale, little twist, bringing our hands around to the right, shoulders open over to the right. Now let's keep that twist. Inhale, lengthen nice and high. Left hand is going to stay on the outside of the thigh. Right hand reaches up and will touch the back of our head, and then slowly lean over toward that left knee. We're just gently touching the head. We're not shoving in the chin forward. We're just opening up that side body. Little twist. And then inhale, we'll come back up and unwind to the center. Let's take this right hand. We'll reach it back behind us. Try and touch the opposite hip with the back of our hand. And our left hand can even help anchor it there. Lengthen and then exhale. Drop this right shoulder away from our ear, and then we'll lower the head over to the left. And then we'll gently release. Head comes back up to the top. Hand comes back around. Let's inhale. Hands come up high. And exhale. Twisting to the left. Hands can come down. Ribs are moving around that spine. Lifting the heart. And then we'll keep that right hand to the outside of that left thigh. We'll inhale, lifting the left hand up, and we'll touch the back of the head. Keep that twist, and then exhale, lower the shoulders down toward that right knee, opening up the side body. Little more twist. Maybe we get into the outside of the hip on that left side. And then gently we'll release, unwind, come back to the center. We'll take this left hand, reach it around, try and touch that right hip, and we'll use the right hand to help keep it anchored. Lengthen in that spine. Exhale, drop the left shoulder away. Ear can come over toward the right side. Deep breaths. One more breath here. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. And then we'll release the hand. Come on back to the center. Good. Bring those hands up to the sky and exhale. We'll fold forward. Bring the chest forward, hinging at the hips, arms reaching out in front of us. Good. And then from here, let's wiggle those fingers forward. We'll roll over the shins. Come up onto our hands and our knees for tabletop. Hands come underneath of our shoulders. Knees are under our hips, spreading the fingers wide, tucking the toes underneath of us. And we'll also round that pelvis so that our tail is pointing back behind us. Exhale, let's round into a cat, lifting the spine up to the sky, tucking the chin, tucking the tail, and then inhale, lifting the heart, dropping the tummy, arching in the back for cow. Good. Exhaling, rounding into cat. Inhale, arching for cow. Exhaling cat. And inhaling cow. And then we'll find that neutral spine, pressing into the palms, opening the shoulder blades behind us, lengthening from our tail all the way to the top of our head. Core is working, our tummy is strong, our side, our back is all working nice and strong to support that spine. Keep that low back supported. Good. Toes are tucked here. Now we have that strong core. Let's lift the knees up off of the ground just a little bit. Beautiful. Exhale, we lower it down. And inhale, lifting the knees just the tiniest a bit. Only has to be a couple of inches. And then exhale, we'll lower it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We should feel this working that core nice and strong. And exhale down. And now this time, pressing into the hands, and we'll lift our butt up just a little bit higher into like a bear crawl position. Still wanting to keep a nice long spine here. And then exhale, lowering down. So we're only hinging at the hips and at the shoulders. Inhale into that big bear position. And then exhale, lowering down. Good. Inhale, lifting. Knees can stay bent. Exhale, lowering. We should be getting a little bit tired. Inhale, big bear. And then exhale, back down to our tabletop. Let's soften those feet. We'll come back to a child's pose. Arms are out in front of us. Butts are low. Good. Arms are out in front of us. Fingers are wide. Inhale. Let's come up to a little tiny plank. Lift our hearts. Tilt the pelvis. Exhale. Let's lower ourselves down to our mats. Hands are underneath of our shoulders. Inhale. Little cobra here. Scooping our chest forward and then up. And then we'll press back to child's pose. Good. Inhale. Into our little plank. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale to our little cobra. And then press back, child's pose. Inhale up. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, scooping that low back. And then press back, child's pose. Staying here in child's pose for one breath. Good, and then we'll come back up to our tabletop. Bring those hands underneath of our shoulders, knees under our hips. Good, strong core again, always thinking about keeping that working. Good, and now let's inhale, and we'll raise the right foot up and back behind us, pressing the heel away, pointing the toes down to our mat so we can bring this right hip to meet the left. Good. And now let's cross over that left foot for an outer hip stretch. And then we can peek over that left shoulder. See if we can see the toes behind us. Good. And then inhale. Let's lift that foot up, back behind us. And now exhale. We can bend the knee. We'll come out to the right side like a puppy at the fire hydrant. Good. And then back to the center. And now let's cross over again. You can look behind us. And then lengthen. And then out to the side. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross over. Inhale, lift those heels up. And then exhale, out to the side. Let's do that one more time. Lengthen out behind us. Cross over. We can give ourselves a little peek. Lift those toes up. And then we'll go out to the side. And now let's lengthen here with that right leg. Let's lift up the left hand. Spinal balance. Core is working. And now let's take that left hand, reach back behind, see if we can find those toes or the ankles. Beautiful, releasing the right foot, reaching the hand out in front of us. And now let's lower that right hand, or the left hand, step forward with our foot into a lizard pose here. Little lunge, hips are coming forward, chests are lifting. Let's keep that left hand on the floor. Inhale, lift up the right, open up, little twist, sinking the hips down, opening our shoulders toward the sky. And exhale, we'll come back down. We'll step all the way back, child's pose. Take a breath here. And then we'll come up to our tabletop again. Pressing strong into our fingers, opening the shoulders, core is working, and we'll stretch out that left leg back behind us. And now let's see if we can do this without doing a weird arch in the back. So we're still lengthening in this low back, keeping the pelvis tilting away. Good, and now let's cross over. We'll look over that right shoulder for those toes. This little outer hip stretch here. Good, and then let's lift that foot back behind us again. And then exhale, bend the knee out to the side. And then lengthen back behind us. And then cross over. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend out to the side. Inhale, lengthen back behind us. And then exhale, crossing over. Inhale, back behind us. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, back behind us. Exhaling, crossing over. Inhale, back behind us. Exhaling out to the side. And back. And crossing over. This is the last one. Inhaling up. Exhale out to the side. And now let's lengthen back behind us. Let's reach the right hand. And now reaching back behind, finding those toes or the ankle. And then we'll gently release back to that reach. Right hand comes down, left foot steps all the way forward for our lizard pose. To the outside, foot is to the outside of that left hand. Softening the foot behind us. Feeling that right hip lengthening in the front. Good. And then we'll keep that right hand on the floor. Inhale to a little twist here, lifting the left hand, sinking the hips down, pressing into this right hand to keep that shoulder strong. And then exhale all the way back down. We'll step that left foot back and find child's pose. Let's hang out here for a couple of breaths. Arms can be out in front of us here. We can turn the palms up if we would like, maybe change the sensation in our shoulders. And then we'll place those hands down in front of us, reaching nice and long with those arms, pressing into the fingers. And now, keeping our chests low, we're going to bring our noses forward. Elbows come back by our ribs, chests past the hands, scooping all the way up into an upward facing dog. And then we'll lower the knees, gently come back to our child's pose. Inhale, noses are low. As we come forward, scooping our way up into upward facing dog. And then we'll tuck those toes, lift the hips, press back. Let's find our downward facing dog. And pedal the feet, wag our tails. Then we bend the knees, press into the hands, pull the shoulders away, lift the hips, and then begin to press the heels down toward our mat. Let's lift up our left leg, three-legged dog. Let's bring that knee into our chest, coming forward, and we're going to take that knee and just touch the left elbow. And then inhale, pressing ourselves back, three-legged dog. Inhale, knee comes into the chest. We're going to cross and touch that right elbow. And then press back. Good. Inhale, left elbow. Exhaling back. Inhale, right elbow. And press back. Good. Let's inhale, bring that knee into our chest, hover in plank here. We're going to turn our hips as if we want to touch that right elbow. We're going to stick the foot out to the side. Good, and then from here, keeping the weight on the left hand, let's lift up the right. Beautiful job. Exhaling. Lowering that right hand down. Engage that core. Step back. Three-legged dog. Good. Lowering that foot down to our mats. Inhaling. Coming forward into a plank. Exhale. We'll lower down. All the way down to our tummies here. Give our hands and wrists a break. We can even shake them out if we would like, and come into our goalpost arms here. And let our head rest. Give ourselves a little shimmy in the back section. Good. And now let's stick out our right arm out to the side, straight out. Press the shoulder down into our mats. We can use the left hand to help push, and we'll take that left foot back behind us. Good, and back to the center. Good, releasing that right arm back into our goalpost. Left arm will reach out behind us or to the side, pressing the shoulder down into our mats. Right hand touches onto the ground, and then stepping back with that right foot. Good, and back to the center. Hands come underneath of our shoulders. Let's tuck those toes, activate the thighs so that they start to come up off of the ground, pressing into those palms. Inhale, up to our plank, and then press back, downward facing dog. Good, let's lift up that right leg. Exhale, bring that knee into our chest, touch the right elbow, and then press back. Good, bringing that knee in, we'll cross over to the left elbow, and then press back. Good, one more time each side. Inhale, right elbow, and press back. And then left elbow, and press back. Good, bring that knee into the chest. We'll turn the hips like we want to touch that left elbow, and we'll extend the leg out to the side. Here, press into those hands, sink the hips. And again, we should get an outer hip stretch here. Use that core to help lift yourselves up. And now all the weight on the right hand, left hand up to the sky, opening the chest. Exhaling down. Press into those hands. Activate that core, three-legged dog. Good job. Downward facing dog. Let's inhale forward into our plank. Exhale, lower down. Good. From here, inhale. Let's come to an upward facing dog. And then lower all the way back down to our tummies and chest. Give those wrists a shake. Good. And now, let's walk those feet in together so that our legs are close, our feet are close. Good. Arms are out in front of us. Elbows can be bent or they can be straight, completely up to you. And then inhale, let's lift up that right hand and the left leg. And then exhale, we lower it down. Inhale, left hand, right leg. And exhale it down. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, right hand, left leg. And inhale. And exhaling down. Very good. Take a breath here. And now when we're ready, let's see if we can do both at the same time. It's very, very difficult, but we got it. Inhale. Let's pull those shoulders up. Lift the legs. And exhale down. One more time. Next inhale. Lifting. And exhaling down. Whew. Good. Hands come underneath of our shoulders. Let's press back to child's pose, keeping those knees nice and close, rounding in the back. And even bring our hands back by our toes. Give everything a bit of a rest. Bring those hands out in front of us. We'll swish our feet over to one side, and we'll come back onto our bottoms. Swing those legs around into staff with our bent knees. Good. Let's take the legs out in front of us for full staff. Toes point up to the sky. And we'll walk our sitting bones back just a little bit to help tilt that pelvis forward. As we walk, we should start to feel the fold already happening. Unfortunately, we can't walk all the way back to the other end of the room and make the fold happen completely, but it'll help. Hands come to our thighs, to our shins. We lengthen on that inhale. Exhale. Let's just creepy crawl those fingers forward as we hinge at the hips, starting touching the belly to the thigh. Chest is working forward. It is tough for us to fold with a straight back and straight legs. You can totally bend those knees to help keep that bend or the length in the back, and we'll still get a good hamstring stretch. Good, and then slowly we'll walk our way back up. Good, bend those knees. We'll roll up into our ball. We'll rock back onto our backs. Give ourselves our little massage if we'd like, rolling side to side, forward and backward. Good little wiggle movement. Good. And then from here, knees are into our chest. Feet are going to lift up to the sky. Hands will come down to the mat behind us. Good. And then we begin to lift our tail up toward the sky. We can come up into candlestick, or we can hinge at those hips and come into plow. Using those hands, we can support our back. Lock the shoulders underneath of us a little bit further. And then keep thinking about this tailbone lifting up to the sky. And then from here, whether our feet are up to the sky or they're over our head, just going to begin to soften in our back as we lower ourselves down into our little egg again. Release those legs, keep the knees bent, shoulders and hands come down to our mats. Think about imprinting our whole back into our mats. One big inhale here. And then exhale, let's take those knees over to the left. Shoulders do their best to stay where they are. We can look over to the right to extend the twist up in towards our cervical spine. Now we get to let gravity do the work. One more inhale here. And we'll stay for that exhale. And we'll come back to the center. Inhaling, lengthening in that spine, feeling it all, pressing down into our mats. Exhale, bringing the knees over to the right, gazing to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, let those legs feel a little bit heavier. Then we'll come back to the center. Again, roll up into the ball. Hold those shins or hug the knees nice and tight in towards us. And now, opening the knees wide, we'll place the bottoms of our feet together into a bound angle, and we'll just let those legs come down to our mats. Shoulders and arms are soft again for a reclined bound angle. Another big inhale here. And exhale, we'll just let those legs release and go long out to the floor. Close our eyes. We allow ourselves to just melt into the earth. Deepen our breath. We wiggle our fingers and our toes, gently becoming aware of our bodies again. Our head from side to side. Listen to our body. Give it what it needs right now. A stretch, or a twist, or a wiggle. And then when we're ready, we'll bring those knees into our chest. We'll roll over onto our side. Help ourselves up to seated. Take this time to check in with how we are feeling right now after our practice and after our Shavasana. We bring our hands together at our hearts. Lower our heads and bow to ourselves in gratitude, giving thanks to all of the gifts that we just gave us today. I thank you so much for joining me today, for allowing me to help you through your practice, for sharing your time with me, and for giving yourself this time to connect and to feel better. I hope that we do after our practice. I wish you all a very, very happy day, a great rest of your week. The light and the divine in me recognizes and respects the light and the divine in each of you. And when we are together, whether physically or virtually, we are one. Namaste.